All right, so today we're going deep on something kind of different this time.
Yeah.
We're looking at this consulting firm.
All right.
In Nigeria called Boorite.
Interesting.
And you might be thinking like consulting in Nigeria, like
Yeah.
how wild can that be? But stick with us.
Okay.
Because this is actually a really cool way to kind of peek into how business works in a whole different part of the world.
Absolutely. I think this deep dive is going to take us behind the scenes of what it takes to really, get a business up and running in a place like Nigeria.
Yeah, and Boorite, this firm, they focus on helping companies with what they call CAC registration and trademark registration.
Huh.
Which, honestly, those might not be terms that, you hear every day.
Right. Yeah.
But in Nigeria, like those are essential legal things you got to do if you want to run a business.
I see.
And what's really cool is we're actually going to be looking at like Boorite's own advertising materials.
Okay.
So we could figure out how they actually pitch their services.
Interesting. So it's like we're doing like business anthropology?
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
We're like deciphering a secret code.
I like it.
To understand how things work.
Yeah.
So let's start with this CAC registration thing.
Right.
Boorite's like, hey, it gives you legitimacy, limited liability, and tax benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But like, what does that actually mean, like on the ground?
Right. Well, in Nigeria, like legitimacy, it's not just about like having your paperwork, all neat and tidy.
Right.
It's really about showing that you're trustworthy, that you're a credible business. You have to remember, Nigeria's got this like mix of formal and informal economic activity.
Right.
So getting this CAC registration, it's a way to prove that you're playing by the rules.
I see.
That you're part of that formal system. And that's a big deal if you're trying to, attract investors, work with banks, or even just convince customers that you're the real deal.
Like a badge of honor.
Yeah, exactly.
That you're legit.
Exactly.
What about this limited liability thing? How does that actually like work in the Nigerian legal system?
So it's kind of similar to how it works in other countries,
Right.
where the business owner isn't personally on the hook for like every debt the company might have.
Right.
But Nigeria has its own specific law.
Okay.
It's called the Companies and Allied Matters Act. And it like lays out all the details.
Okay.
So entrepreneurs really need to like dig into that law.
Yeah.
To make sure they're actually getting that protection they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then you mentioned tax benefits,
Right.
which, let's be real,
Yeah.
everyone loves those.
Of course.
Nigeria's got a bunch of different tax incentives for businesses.
Like what?
Things like tax holidays where you don't have to pay certain taxes for a while.
Okay.
Or exemptions on certain imports. And even lower tax rates for specific industries.
Interesting.
And these incentives, they're usually aimed at attracting investment in like key areas, like agriculture, manufacturing, tech.
So you're saying it's not just enough to like incorporate your business.
Right.
And just assume you're getting all these benefits.
Exactly.
You got to be strategic about it.
You got to know the rules of the game.
Totally. Now,
Yeah.
moving on to this trademark stuff.
All right.
It seems like Boorite really, really emphasizes this.
Yeah.
Like they push it hard.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, think about the market in Nigeria.
Oh.
It's like this, it's a hotbed of entrepreneurship,
Okay.
tons of potential for growth,
Mm-hmm.
but that also means there's a ton of competition.
Right.
So if you want to stand out, you need a strong brand identity and you need it fast.
Yeah.
And trademark protection, it's not just about like owning your logo.
Right.
It's about protecting like what your brand actually stands for.
Yeah.
So let's say
Well-
you've built up this reputation for quality and reliability.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some other company could come along and try to like ride your coattails.
Oh.
Use a similar name or logo. Sneaky.
Yeah, and suddenly customers are confused. They don't know who's who.
Yeah.
And that can really hurt your business.
It's like they're stealing your hard work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a registered trademark, it gives you the legal muscle to say, hey, back off.
Oh.
That's mine.
I see.
It's like you're putting up a fence around your brand,
Yeah.
protecting it from copycats.
So in a fast-growing market, like
Yeah.
that brand confusion can be like a real killer.
Absolutely.
It's not just about people knowing your logo.
Right.
It's about protecting your reputation, too.
It's all connected.
Yeah, and then there's the whole issue of counterfeiting,
Oh, yeah. Huge problem in a lot of places.
which I imagine is a big deal in Nigeria, too.
Oh, yeah. That's
A trademark helps with that, too.
Absolutely. It gives you the legal tools to fight back against those imitators.
Okay.
And it shows everyone that you're serious about your brand. That you're not messing around.
You're the real deal.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about Boorite's own language in their ads.
Yeah.
Use words like expertise, efficiency, and personalized service.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that tell us about what it's like to be a consultant in Nigeria?
Well, one thing's for sure, it's a competitive market.
Okay.
I mean, they're really trying to stand out from the crowd by highlighting those qualities.
Yeah.
And it suggests that navigating the bureaucracy and the regulations in Nigeria, it can be tough.
Right.
Like businesses need someone who really knows the ropes to help them get things done quickly and without making expensive mistakes.
So even something like
Yeah.
registering your company or your trademark,
Right.
you might need a local expert to help you out.
Yeah, it's not always a DIY situation.
Gotcha.
And that emphasis on personalized service,
Yeah.
it tells me that relationships are really important in this market.
Okay, so it's not just about ticking boxes.
No.
It's about understanding the culture.
It's about navigating a complex system
Yeah.
where knowing the right people and having those connections can make a big difference.
And if you're not familiar with that local context, even seemingly simple tasks can get
They can get really complicated.
complicated. Yeah.
So Boorite's essentially selling peace of mind. They're saying, hey, we got this.
Yeah.
We'll handle all the headaches for you.
Okay, so Boorite's just one company,
Right.
but their services kind of point to this bigger trend.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the whole entrepreneurship scene in Africa?
Well, we're seeing this surge in entrepreneurial activity all across the continent.
Really?
Driven by, a young and growing population, increasing use of technology, and a growing middle class.
Wow.
Nigeria, in particular, has one of the biggest youth populations in the world, and they're really embracing entrepreneurship as a way to build their futures.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see.
So it's like a really dynamic time for the region.
Absolutely.
But I imagine there are challenges too.
Oh, of course. I mean, starting and running a business in any market, it's not easy.
Right.
And in a rapidly changing environment like this, there are definitely some hurdles.
Like what kind of hurdles?
Well, access to capital is a big one for a lot of entrepreneurs, getting the money to get started or to expand.
Right.
And even though things are improving in a lot of countries, the regulations and the bureaucracy, they can still be complicated and time-consuming.
Okay.
And then there's infrastructure.
Yeah.
Reliable electricity, good transportation networks, high-speed internet.
Right.
Those aren't always a given, particularly outside of the big cities.
So it sounds like
Yeah.
while there's a ton of opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
there are also some systemic challenges.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Those challenges, they're actually driving a lot of innovation.
Oh, how so?
Well, entrepreneurs in Africa, they often have to be incredibly resourceful and creative to find solutions. They're using technology to overcome those infrastructure limitations.
Oh, yeah.
They're building strong networks to access capital. And they're even advocating for policy changes to create a more business-friendly environment.
So they're not just starting businesses.
Right.
They're shaping the whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And it's inspiring to see.
Totally. So we started with this simple ad
I know, right?
for this consulting firm in Nigeria.
It's amazing where we ended up.
And we ended up talking about entrepreneurship, brand protection,
Mm-hmm.
the unique challenges and opportunities of doing business in a place like Nigeria.
It just shows you that even the most ordinary things can reveal these fascinating insights.
Yeah, totally. So here's something to think about.
Okay.
If you were going to launch a business in a brand new market,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your first steps to make sure you're playing by the rules and protecting your brand?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, think about it.
Yeah,
Let us know what you come up with.
definitely.
You can hit us up on social media.
We love hearing from you guys.
Right. That's it for our deep dive.
Until next time.
See you.